Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.
Welcome back. Tonight, we introduce you to an Army veteran who served the country for over 2 decades, and the majority of the time while raising a family in Augusta.
Mike Mahoney introduces us to Len Hudson on tonight's Veteran Salute.
Len Hudson was born in Wellington, Kansas, but moved to Augusta in 1958 and has lived there the vast majority of his life. After graduating high school, he was off to college at Butler and Wichita State, and then because of the Vietnam War, the Army.
I got this thing in the mail from the Army that said, hey, you've got a college degree, you can be an officer. So I went over and talked to a guy at the recruiting center, and he set me up, and I signed up, and it's kind of funny. I signed up, I got home, my draft notice was in the mailbox.
After basic training, officer candidate school, and military intelligence training, Len found himself at Fort Sill in Oklahoma, training artillerymen for Vietnam.
You guys out there, in case you're an artilleryman, from about 1970 to 1972, I probably signed your order sending you to Vietnam. So here I am if you want to throw stones at me.
Following 3 years of active duty, Len and his wife had a baby on the way, and they decided it was time to head home to Augusta.
Had she not been born, we would have hung around a little longer, but as it turned out, we did the right thing.
But Len's service was far from over, and he dove headfirst into the Army Reserve.
I served 5 years there with the 971st Medical Company, which was like a giant emergency room. It's kind of a shift from artillery and intelligence to that.
A few years later, Len found himself in the reserve once again, this time commanding an ambulance company, while also publishing popular local papers like the Augusta Gazette and El Dorado Times back at home.
That's my first love. Newspapers are my first love. News people are the coolest people around.
No argument from me, Len, but back to Len's service. In '92, he had one more job to do, this time with the National Guard, and this time as an artillery forward observer. And all the while, he was staying busy at home.
I've served on the city council in town, Lions Club, Chamber of Commerce. I serve as elder at my church.
And a big reason Len succeeded at this plethora of jobs and leadership roles is because of what he learned serving his country.
They taught you stuff that you would never learn readily in civilian world. They taught you that there's days when you are so tired and you've had no sleep and you've been wet for a week and everything hurts, but you still got stuff to do and you still do it.
And even these days in full retirement, you can find Len at book signings for his book, Maquis, a fictional story featuring real-life people set during the Vietnam War. Here for you, Mike Mahoney, KSN News 3.
On behalf of Devon James Injury Lawyers, we are honored to recognize this week's veteran, Len Hudson, who served in the Army for 23 years. Len, thank you for your service, and we are honored to present you with a check for $500.
It was my pleasure. America was worth it.
Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.
Other